1, 2, 3, barbecue.
3 trials barbecue.
I'm just gonna say it.
Say 3 trials barbecue.
3 trials barbecue.
Say hi.
Hi.
Welcome back everyone to 3 Trials Barbecue. Today what we're going to be doing is a double smoked ham. It's going to be my version of a honey baked ham using our Traeger. We're going to be using some brown sugar, turbinado sugar, Kinder's brown sugar rub, some ground cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, paprika, a little bit of apple juice, orange juice, and some honey. And it's going to be a 2-part thing. Well, 3 parts if you include the smoke. We're going to be creating a glaze. We're going to be then rubbing it down. We're going to baste it as the cook continues, and we're just going to be warming this up. We're going to be rolling at 225 through the whole cook, just putting a little bit more smoke on it. It was hickory smoked already. We're going to be using those lumberjack pellets that have a little bit of maple, cherry, and hickory. We're going to be using the same pellets we use on that turkey, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're going to start with making the rub first, and we'll end up putting it in an empty shaker. We'll start with this Kinder's brown sugar rub. I like Kinder's, and so I try to use most of their stuff. I usually make my burnt ends, pork belly or brisket, with some of this just to give it some sweetness. But we're going to use a 1/4 cup of this brown sugar rub, and it's got like dehydrated onion, and it's got other things like orange peel and paprika, so it should have a little bit of zing to it. And then next we'll do a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Next is going to be the 1/2 cup of turbinado sugar. The turbinado sugar, I think, helps give it some of that hard, like, caramelization and sort of a crust. Next up is going to be the nutmeg. This only gets a 1/2 teaspoon. So 1/2 teaspoon. Then we go into the ground ginger, also a 1/2 teaspoon. We'll do some ground cinnamon, also a 1/2 teaspoon. And then last, we'll do the paprika, also 1/2 teaspoon. Okay. So this is our rub. We'll shake it up and get it all together, and we'll throw it in that shaker. Once we have it in the shaker, you can shake it up a little bit. And this is an old meat church shaker. You get it in there, and then we just put it aside. Okay, now let's dig into this glaze. We're gonna use 1/2 cup of orange juice. 1/2 cup of apple juice. I use this pure pressed apple juice. Calls for a 1/4 cup of honey. So go ahead and add this in. Next, it calls for the Kinder's brown sugar rub, and we're gonna put a 1/4 cup. Okay. And last, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And remember guys, this is my version of the double smoked honey baked ham using my Traeger. So we're going to stir this up and we're gonna put it to boil. We'll see if it thickens up, and this will be our glaze. So you guys follow me to the stove. All right, y'all, so we're gonna bring it to a boil. You can see that the rub helps give it some of that reddish color. Most recipes that I found, they don't include the rub. They just do the brown sugar. I wanted to stick to the theme and use the brown sugar rub. So I added, you know, a 1/4 cup. And all we're doing is we're using the apple juice, the sugars, the rub. We're using all that stuff to see if it'll thicken up. And I got it on medium. I'm not running the fan right now. But you don't hear the sugar anymore. It has already married to the liquid, so we're just gonna let it go a little bit more and we'll be right back. It's been boiling for about 10 minutes and it's gotten a little thicker, not too much. The honey, you know, is gonna give it a little bit of a thickness to it, but we just wanted it to marry the stuff together. So that's what it looks like in there. We're gonna go ahead and just let it chill on low. So let's go back to this ham. All right, everyone, so this is a ham. It says it's made with honey. I paid 43 bucks at Lucky's for this thing. This is our first trial. I plan on making one for Thanksgiving, so why not figure it out before Thanksgiving? So I see all the videos where they're like, oh, I've never used this. Well, I have. I'm still gonna throw it away because now I'm gonna make my own glaze. So this is what it looks like, everyone. It's got the bone. It's already a spiral cut. Why we only make ham for Thanksgiving and why does it come to mind? I don't know. But a lot of people still do cook it during the holiday season. Why we don't cook it more often, that I cannot tell you. Got a little bit of juice there. Let's get this off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pat it dry. I do want to open it up a little bit and just make sure that I can get individually in there, because when I start basting, I want this to kind of be open and not so tight. Probably get rid of this, don't need that. Open it like a deck of cards. I'm gonna grab some of that glaze. We're gonna use it as a binder, and then we'll put some of that rub on that we created earlier. Okay, got the glaze over here. The house is smelling beautiful. Smells like Winnie the Pooh's house. I'm going to just drizzle this over there. It's still hot. And my clean hand. So what I want to do is I just want to make sure that it gets in there a little bit, but I want to just add a layer of moisture so this rub can stick. So yeah, we'll start pouring on our rub, and I'm gonna open it up a little bit. I want it to kind of get in there as well. A little bit more glaze. How you do it is up to you. Like I told you guys, I kind of want this to spread out like a deck of cards, just so I could get some of this rub in between these slices. So we got that there, all rubbed up. We still have some rub left. Oh, last little sprinkle. We still have some rub left. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna let this kind of sit here for about 20-30 minutes. Let it kind of soak in and sweat into the ham. Meanwhile, we're gonna go outside. We're gonna get those lumberjack pellets into that Traeger. We're gonna start it up at 165 like I always do. And we're gonna set that and start rolling smoke at 225 with super smoke, so we can go ahead and throw this on in about 30 minutes once it's all set. Okay, so we're at 165. Let's go to 225. We're gonna do the super smoke. We already have the lumberjack pellets in there. We're gonna let it get up to temp. And then what I want to do is I want to bring the turkey out here. I want to set the probe in there so we can monitor it, and we'll go from there. We got the ham out here. Today I decided to use the elevated portion of this grill. I didn't want it too close to the fire. So on top of that, I'm going to use this baking rack that again I also use for pork belly brunettes, and we're just gonna lay this on there. Go ahead and insert this probe. Feel for the bone. I think this cook is gonna take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. So we're gonna let it kind of do its thing. We'll go ahead and set a probe alarm. And for now, I'm just gonna set it at 100. I'm gonna let it go for an hour, and then we'll come out and we'll baste it with some of our glaze, and maybe throw a little bit of rub. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see you guys in an hour. All right, y'all, so it's been an hour. Haven't really rolled too much on the temperature. We're only at 65 degrees, so we still have some time. Let's go ahead and baste it at the minimum. So that's what it's looking like right now. Let's go ahead and put some of this glaze. We'll just put it over it. It's not looking too bad. I'm not gonna put no rub on it. Gonna put the glaze on it. I'm gonna let it go for an hour and a half, and then we'll be back. All right, everyone, so we're back. We are at 2.5 hours. We've been rolling at 225. You can see the temperature probe is at 119, so we only have 21 degrees to go. Let's set this probe alarm to 130, but for now, let's baste it and let's throw some of that rub on so we can work on that nice crust. So let's start by giving it a little baste. We'll pull it out a little bit. Just gonna let it drip. Now this is only the second baste that I've done. I haven't really done too much. It has a nice golden color. This turbinado sugar is going to help it. Flip it. Let that kind of sit. We'll see if it gives us some sort of a crust by the time we get back. Probe is set at 130, so we'll be back. At this point, we're not going off of time, we're going off of temperature, but I'll let you guys know how many minutes go by till we hit that 130. So let's let this thing continue to roll, and we'll see you guys at 130. Hour later, we finally hit 130. 10 degrees to go. Let's take a look. Okay. Let's give it some glaze. And we're still rolling at 225. Give it a little drizzle. Not gonna overdo it. We're gonna set the probe temperature to 140. So we're gonna set the probe temp. Set it to 140. It took us 1 hour to get to there, so we're at 3.5 hours. I got the timer on for the additional hour, so that should take us to about 140. So we'll be back when it gets us to 140, hopefully in an hour, and that would put us at 4.5. So we'll be back. Stay tuned. All right, everyone. So we're finally done. The Traeger finally hit 140. We are at 4 hours and 15 minutes. We didn't get to the full 4.5, but hey, I'm all right with that. Let's take a look and see what it looks like. All right, it's looking good. I like it. Nice color. It doesn't look burnt, so I'm really liking that right there. Let's go ahead and take it out. We're gonna let it rest, and then we'll go inside and we'll cut it up. All right, everyone, so we're finally done. It's been resting for about 20 minutes. We got it. It's sticky. It's not super caramelized, but it looks wonderful. It doesn't look burnt at all. Like I said, it's been resting. I'm gonna put it to the side. Let's take a look and see how it slices up. Super juicy. Here it is. We're gonna try it out a little bit, but before we do that, we're just gonna summarize what we did today. We started off half a cup of apple juice, half a cup of orange juice, a quarter cup of brown sugar. We used a quarter cup of Kinder's brown sugar rub and a quarter cup of honey. That was basically our glaze that we basted the ham with, and it was also our initial binder just to put the rub. Once we got the glaze going, we also made that rub. That was a quarter cup of Kinder's brown sugar rub, a quarter cup of brown sugar, a half a cup of turbinado sugar, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a half teaspoon of paprika. Once the rub was done, we boiled the glaze to marry those flavors. We went outside. We set up the Traeger Ironwood 885 to 225 on super smoke. We let it roll till it came up to temperature. We then took out this ham, let it go for an hour. We then came back and found that temperature wasn't what we expected, so we let it roll for another hour and a half, and then we started basting with our glaze. We didn't start putting sugar until about midpoint. Then we just monitored it every hour until we got to 130. At that point, we went off of temperature. Our total time on this cook was 4 hours and 15 minutes. This is the outcome. I mean, it looks like a deck of cards. It's sticky. Let's give it a try. So the ham is juicy. You could definitely taste the honey, the sugar, or the brown sugar. What really stands out to me is a little bit of that Kinder's brown sugar rub. It's got those notes of the orange peel, paprika. I mean, you could taste all the flavors in that rub. So far, so good. We're gonna go ahead and continue to dice this up, and we're gonna make some sandwiches. So thank you guys for joining. It's holiday season, and I wanted to bring out a turkey and a ham for you guys because I'm dialing myself in. This is our first trial of a honey baked double smoked ham on my Traeger. Maybe we switch it up, maybe we keep it the same. It's gonna depend on the feedback I get tonight. So if you haven't hit that like and you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to share and check me out on Instagram. So thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys on the next one.